The point being is that motion is really critical. So what I'm telling you now is throw out the term goals. I would like you to just start thinking about never ever using that word again. Not that it's bad, but it's going to condition you to think about it differently. It's going to be a trigger to think about it differently. So when you heard Larry talk, when he first came into our office, the G word was flying all over the place, okay? And I heard him talk up here. I didn't hear it. He talked about vision. He talked about milestones. He talked about achievements. He talked about these things. Because we just want to change the way that your mind has been conditioned. Every time it hears the word goal, your subconscious, your mind, this mind is going, wow, woo, woo, woo. This part of your brain is going, oh, another one of those. I'm not buying into that. You know, he never follows through. So if you can kind of change that. So focus on the vision. Do it. Now, the small steps. So I have this thing. I've broken down my four keys into the smallest steps. And I have to have like initiators, little triggers that get them started, okay? So for me, in my northwest quadrant, okay, in my core quadrant up there is to be totally aligned with God's desire for me, okay? I mean, that's what mine is, up in the core area. If I can feel that where I have that sense that what I'm doing is aligned with what God's purpose is for me. So you look at that, and so then I have a trigger, okay, wait a minute. That's my overriding. My achievement is that I'm having prayer, meditation, exercise, and diet is defined daily. So I call that PMED. So my key there is PMED. My overriding principle for my entire quadrants is I'm aligned with God's wishes for me. So I'm not going to do anything underneath here that violates that principle. Do you see what I'm saying? In my northeast quadrant, or my northwest quadrant, in my core, it says PMED. And PMED for me is I know that I will succeed in my core if I have daily prayer, meditation, exercise, and diet. I've determined if I exercise, I always eat better. But if I eat better, I don't necessarily exercise. And it's easier for me to eat better when I exercise. It's easier for me to have meditation when I have prayer. Prayers change for me. A lot of my prayers are not words, they're vision. So I'll sit down and visualize my family, I visualize my health, I visualize the strength. Instead of going through these numerous words, I respond to it in a visualized format. But for me, so now I have a Pringle. Pringle is the smallest step that's going to get me into motion. Pringle for me was one verse, or one word, with the Bible. Do you see what I'm saying? Now everybody knows why I call it, a Pringle. So we have a Pringle here. Does everybody know what these are? Has everybody seen these before? Right? So when you see a Pringle, they're magical in some respects. Because look what happens. If you go like this, listen carefully. Doesn't that sound good? Okay, so the way Pringles work is you open this up like this. You reach in, you take out one, right? And you put it in and you eat it up, right? Put the lid on and put it away. Isn't that what you all do?
Right.
Okay. That's why we call them Pringles. Because what's going to get me in motion? What's going to get me in motion? So for that quadrant, PMED, got my overlying principle, always aligned with God's wishes for me, prayer, meditation, exercise, and diet. Get that correctly. Then my other areas, my relationship with my wife is better, my relationship with my children is better, my health is better. All the great things that are in that quadrant are better because of that focus that happens there, for me. Yours may be different, but for me. Okay, so I've got that. What's the key to that? What's my Pringle? Do you know what my Pringle is? 15 steps. That's what I call it, 15 steps. If I'll take 15 steps, that's the distance from my bed out the door into our study. And that's what kicks it off. Because if I go into the study, then that's where the prayer, the meditation, the reading and meditation come about. And then from there I go right on out and my day's off and I'm off and going. If I miss the 15 steps, then I miss my Pringle. And then I'm out of kind of whack. And my confidence is a little bit out of whack. But if I just get it down to the 15 steps, we had a person in the program that one of her things was that she was a ballet, I can't remember what she was. She was a business executive, but she needed to get exercise. She lives in New York. So her Pringle was that she made a contract with the taxi that they would be at her door every day at 5:45. So her Pringle was, get in the taxi. That was it. Get in the taxi. My workout, put on your shoes and do a push-up. Put on your shoes and do a push-up. The vision is that I can go out and run with my grandkids. I can throw them up in the air. I can do things with them like that. That's the vision that I try to see. Okay? The Pringle for me, in terms of that, is then the PMed. You with me on that? So you're trying to get this vision, and you get them working together, working harmoniously with each other. That's just kind of going. So, has this been helpful? See, I would love to go on the old Oprah show and have me stand up and say, Oprah, have you ever set a goal? Let's ask your audience if they ever set a goal. And what if I were to tell you that goal setting has done more to destroy you than it has ever done to help you? That's so good. That's only good if you have a solution that you come in with that can replace it. And so you want to get it down to the smallest motion that you can do so that you'll celebrate it and you'll kind of go forward in that regard. So that's motion theory.